went ahead and I primed my eyes. I used MAC's Paint Pot and Soft Ochre, and I lightly set this. No, I didn't prime yet. Why am I recording? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a tutorial on this look right here, and I use the new Colourpop California Love palette, which looks like this. I'm telling you, if I could have a palette, and I think all of us that do makeup, we would love to have our own palettes, it would be these shades right here. Oh my gosh, all of these mattes here are just so perfect for me. They just scream my name. I love this palette. You guys will see me do more looks with this, and I also use the Cheek Leader Bronze Squad on my face. You guys will see me use this palette throughout the tutorial. I do want to keep this intro really short. So if you guys are new here, I'm going to quickly introduce myself. My name is Lauren Jade. I'm 57. I have mature, crepey, wrinkly skin. I have hooded eyes, and they are slightly downturned. So because of that, I do have trouble following a typical YouTube tutorial. The one size fits all, the cookie cutter just does not work for me. I mean, they go into the crease with this large fluffy brush and they swashbuckle that color around, and they're taking it from outer corner to inner corner, and then the movie magic, and then they cut to the next scene and it looks completely different. I do things a little bit differently on my channel. I don't kind of follow that path. I try to explain in kind of detail what I'm doing. I like to talk a lot throughout my videos because I like to kind of teach you guys some things as I'm learning. Makeup is a journey. So rather than just saying I'm taking this on a large fluffy brush and windshield wiper going from outer corner to inner corner, that does not help anybody learn. So anyhow, that is what I do here on my channel. So if you guys are new, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it so YouTube will notify you every time I upload. And I do want to say one more thing real quick in the intro. Oh, I think I said this at the end. I can't remember, but I am going to be doing this new Coco Kylie collab palette for my next tutorial, so stay tuned for that. And without further ado, let's just get into this tutorial. All right, I think we're ready. I have primed my eyes using MAC's Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and I'm going to lightly set this with a little bit of translucent powder right here. And I'm also going to take a little bit and really just kind of pack this on my under eye here, just in the event that I decide to use the glitter shade. So we are going to be using the California Love palette, the new Colourpop, which looks like this. Absolutely stunning. If I could pick a palette and design my own colors, these would be it. These mattes are like so me. So I may even buy a second one of these at some point because I just love it. But I'm going to dip into the Nars Skin Deep First palette here, and all right, so we are going to be using the new Colourpop California Love palette, which looks like this. Absolutely breathtaking and stunning. If I could create a palette for myself and have my own, it would probably be every shade in here. These mattes are screaming. They have my name all over it. But I'm first going to go into the Nars Skin Deep palette, which looks like this. And I'm going to take this lighter one of these two chocolate brown shades. I believe this one is called Sophia. And I'm going to start to map out my little wing and put in my liner. It just really kind of helps me to see my socket bone shape. And it also kind of acts as tape. And as a guide, you know, for me to kind of keep my shadows in so that they don't get out too far. So that is what I am going to do. All right, I am just using this Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I am just treating this as liner using this shadow here. I'm going to take it a little bit thinner on the inner corner, and as I get to the outer corner, I'm going to make it just a little bit thicker. I'm also going to kind of wiggle it a little bit into my lashes here. And I'm going to kind of make like a little tiny wing, I'm gonna take it down here to my lower lash line. I'm not gonna take it too far. And then I'm gonna kind of create a little wing here. And then I'm just going to fill this in. I really like doing my wing first because I really helps me to really kind of access here and just kind of really get a good view of my socket bone, and it just seems to kind of map it out so I know, you know, that I'm keeping my shadows from this point in. Go into the California Love palette now, and I'm going to grab this shade right here, and I'm using my Makeup Forever Flat Definer brush, and I'm just going to wiggle this. I'm going to keep this dark shade really close to the lash line, so I'm just going to kind of wiggle it between the lashes and just kind of stamp it on. And this is what's so nice about this flat definer brush. You can kind of wiggle it a little bit and it'll kind of smoke it into the other shade. So you kind of have that gradient from light kind of chocolate brown to kind of more of a darker espresso brown, which is this kind of what I think this shade is. I'm just gonna, when I get to this outer corner here, I'm just gonna kind of stamp. This is what I mean, this brush just does the work for you. I'm just gonna stamp here and then connect it. So I'm just gonna make this wing here a little darker inside of this little smoky wing. I'm not sure why doing my liner first really gives me a nice view of my socket line, but it really does. It really starts to kind of bring out the natural shadows that I have in my socket bone, and I just follow that shape. It really helps me to see that better. And this also acts as tape, so I'm not bringing my shadows like way out here. So I just love it. It just works for me. I'm gonna go into my Benefit Cheek Leader Bronze Squad palette. You guys know I'm going to bronze my crease up here with a little bit of the Hoola bronzer. I'm using my Sigma E35 for this step. And I'm just going to start out here, and I'm just going to follow my socket shape all the way to the inner corner. I love this brush. It's another thing that just does the work for you. It's great for doing a nice wash of color. You don't get any harsh edges, you don't get any harsh lines. It just buffs it out as you go. I just love it. When I get to the inner corner, I'm going to pick up a little bit more, and as you guys know, I'm just going to kind of swirl a little bit in the inner corner. I'm going to kind of brush that up to the brow, also kind of take it in my little nose contour area here. Just like everything to kind of connect. I just love this brush. Like, why do any more work than you have to? I mean, this brush just does it all for you. This is great for doing a nice wash of color. It really just buffs it out nice and smooth. And I love my inner corner shading. I do that literally in every single look with my bronzer. It just gives such a really nice kind of a sultry fade to the look. And just really warms up the crease. So that's why I do this step all the time. All right, I'm gonna take my new BFF. I don't know where I'd be in my eyeshadow game now without my Melts Blur. And I'm going to take it on the same brush. And I'm just gonna kind of swirl out here and just kind of catch the edges of that bronzer just so that I have a nice flawless airbrushed finish out here, because that is what we want. That is always the goal. All right, dipping back into the Love palette, I'm taking this shade right here, which is Sequoia. It's a warmish, orangish color, I guess we can call it, and I'm going to use a Sigma E38 for this. So I'm using this E38 brush because I want the same type of effect with this orangey shade. I want it really smooth, and I want that airbrushed finish for this particular transition shade. I really want this to be smooth. I'm building it up a little bit, but I'm just not taking it up as high. Like, I'm not taking it in towards the brow area. I'm keeping this right on my socket bone right here. So pretty. All right, so this one is the E38. This one is the E35. You can see that this one is just, the E35 is just slightly taller. It's a little bit more movement. This one's just maybe just a hair stiffer, but you can see that the overall style is the same. And then this one is the E40. So just to kind of give you guys a comparison, this is the biggest one of all and the most fluffy. This one I like to use for out here, just to get that airbrushed, seamless effect on the edges of all of the colors. So that is what I use this one for. Okay, now that I have a nice airbrushed wash of color going on, I'm going to start to bring in some structure and definition now and start to kind of map out the overall shape that I want to do. I pretty much do the same eye shape on all of my eyeshadow looks. So this isn't going to be anything different. I am using an M441 from Morphe for this, and I'm going to go into this shade right here, the Bay, down here. I can't tell you how much I love all of these shades in here. All right, I'm going to start by placing some of the excess color out here on the lid. And I'm going to go right above my natural crease, which is right here. I'm going to go pretty much right inside this socket bone shape. And then I'm going to bring it inward. I'm going to grab a tiny bit of Gnarly. I don't like it as well as I like my new BFF Melts Blur, but this will work because it's in the palette. And I'm going to go back into the last brush that I use. Now, I did not take this, that beige shade. I did not take this, by the way, as high as I did, but I did blend it into that first orangey shade. So I'm going to just take a little bit of that Gnarly shade and the last brush that I used and just blend out the edges again. All right, I'm going to really bring some structure and definition now into the eye by creating a fake crease. And I'm going to go into this shade right here, Gold Rush. Once I get this color in there, I'm going to take a M433, which is right here, and I'm just going to smooth out that actual crease line right on my socket bone right here. All right, so I'm going to start this look out by taking this a few millimeters above my natural crease, which is right here. I'm going to look straight ahead because you want to be able to see this crease when your eyes are open and you're looking straight ahead when you have hooded eyes. So I'm just going to make a little dot right on the actual skin fold, and you can see that little dot is right there. And now I'm going to just follow my natural shape of my natural eye, my own eye shape right here. So right on my socket bone, like I'm not going to wing this out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to follow my natural shape and really really start to bring in some definition to this look. And I'm just going to take this crease about a couple millimeters above my natural crease. Okay, so for the actual lid shades, and then I'm going to finish up my liner right after I do my lid. So I absolutely hate pressed glitters. I think you guys know that by now. It's like my least favorite formula of shadows. But I will be doing another look with this, and I will be using this pressed glitter at some point, just not like today because I have some errands to run right after this. So I want to keep the look soft and workable for my errands. So, all right, this shade here also looks a little bit on the chunky side. When I dug into it, it just was real chunky. I don't know if you guys can see, the camera's picking this up here. So I'm gonna take this shade Cruisin'. This looks like a shimmery pale gold, and I'm gonna top it with, I just thought this shade here would just be so stunning with the look. It's called Chase the Light. It's a Super Shock shadow. It's got the tie-dye formula. I just thought that this would just be stunning. So I'm gonna mix those two together, and I'm going to spritz my brush here with some MAC Fix Plus first. And you can definitely use your finger for this. This is just a MAC, I don't even know what number this is. I think a 212. It's just an old, like it's a cream color brush. So I'm just going to take this to about halfway, a little bit more than halfway, like 3/4 of the way. And I'm also gonna grab, I think, a tiny bit of this shade right here. This one is, I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce it, whatever this like reddish like gold shade is. And I'm going to just pop that on the outer part of the lid. It's a beautiful reddish coppery shade though, and it works amazing with the look. And I'm just going to bring it in, and then I'm going to kind of wiggle. I'm going to grab a little bit of the gold shade and just kind of wiggle them so that they kind of mesh together. I just love this look. I know this is going to turn out so beautiful over here. All right, so I'm going to dip now into the Super Shock tie-dye, the Chase the Light, and I'm going to grab a tiny bit of this with my finger, and I'm just going to place this right on top and kind of in the middle where I have both of these shades, and then I'm going to shape with the brush. So I'm not going to take it as high. I'm just going to put a little bit in the front. I have some of these shades now that I used in my upper, and I'm going to do my lower lash line, and I'm also going to grab just one of these shades, doesn't matter which one, and I'm just going to go over the border, kind of right where the shimmer kind of goes right into this crease. Just kind of clean up any kind of little stray glitter. See, just make that nice and smooth. Now I'm going to finish the liner. I'm back into the Nars Skin Deep palette. I'm going to use my flat definer brush for this, and I'm going to take this dark shade, the darkest one in the palette. I don't know what this is called. Coconut Grove, maybe? I'm not sure. It's the brownish black one here. It's the deepest one. And I'm going to take this really, really close to the lash line and just kind of basically stamp. Also kind of wiggling a little bit into the lash line. And now I'm going to really deepen up my wing. Just going to kind of stamp here, and then I'm just going to fill it in. Absolutely love how this came out. I'm going to dust the powder from my face. I'm going to grab the Cheek Leader palette. I'm going to touch up the face, get these inner corner highlight pop in. I'm going to use the Allergic to Bullshit on my lips. This is the latest Coco and Kylie collaboration. In fact, I'm doing this palette on my next tutorial. Absolutely stunning. So watch for that on my next video. But let's go ahead and wipe this powder away. But first, I'm going to grab just a tiny bit of Cookie and throw this on my inner corner here. Ooh, yeah. Cookie and Tickle did not come to play. And by the way, Tickle is the one that is in the pink squad. Cookie is the one that's in the bronze squad. I had to get both, of course, even though my blush bar is perfect. All right, so now I got my inner corner. I'm gonna spray the face, and then I'm gonna put some highlight on. So I'm just gonna spray my face here, just a couple. I'm going to grab a little bit of Cookie. Can you see? I'm telling you, Cookie did not come to play. Cookie, however, though, does not need a spray. I just thought, why not? All right, I'm gonna spray again, and then I'm gonna dry. Whew. All right, and that completes the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I will see you in my next one. And don't forget, we will be doing the new Coco Kylie Round 3 collaboration palette in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.